Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. We are getting rounded up here so that we can head out tomorrow morning on our big Memorial Day weekend, week-long trip. However, as of this morning, we are still changing our travel plans. You see, when we first made these plans, we were not concerned about heat at all, being it was going to be the end of May in Wisconsin. However, now looking at the weather, they're calling for record highs in Wisconsin next week. So we've had to adjust from dry camping the entire time to at least getting electricity for a couple of those days. Also, this is probably the least prepared as I've ever been for leaving on a trip the next morning. We still have, you can see there's clothes hanging on the line. We haven't packed anything. I need a haircut, and I think it's getting ready to rain here. All right, so we're making progress. Still got a lot to do. Still need to cut my hair, but got some stuff done. And I guess I never really told you what we were doing this weekend. So tomorrow we're headed to a harvest host in Iowa. From there we're going to Wisconsin Dells, and we're going to be there for 5 nights. And that's where the heat comes into play. We actually were supposed to be dry camping for all 5 days there. Well, we ended up figuring out, since it's going to be too hot, we got a hold of the state park we're staying at, and they had availability the last 2 nights. So we'll actually be dry camping the first 3 nights, which aren't going to be too bad, but then we were able to get an electric site for the last 2 nights when it gets hot, so that will be nice. Then from there we go to a state park in Illinois for 2 nights. We go to another harvest host on the way back, and then come back. So we'll be gone 9 nights total. So it should be a good time. Just got a few more things to do around here so that we'll be ready to go and then hit the road in the morning. Good morning. We're actually making pretty good progress around here this morning. So I'm actually thinking we may get out of here a little ahead of schedule. Another thing I forgot to mention yesterday is this is kind of our somewhat annual extended family trip, so we will be meeting my parents and my brothers and their families up there as well. Not sure if we're going to see anybody tonight or not, but definitely tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Anyhow, we're going to wrap up here and get on the road. All right, so we made it to our first stop. We are at Cedar Ridge Winery and Distillery in Swisher, Iowa. And most of our crew, or at least the ones that left today, met us here for dinner, and everything was wonderful. So we're just kind of getting settled in a little bit and getting ready to take off in the morning to head on up to Wisconsin Dells. Well, we've made it to our destination. We are at Mirror Lake State Park, just outside Wisconsin Dells. We got in here early afternoon, got set up. It's a very tight site, nice site, but yeah, very tight to get into. However, absolutely gorgeous. This is actually where we'll be for the next 3 nights, and then we're moving over across the park to a site that's got power, since the heat wave is going to be coming in sometime early in the week. So right now we're just kind of hanging around here. It's been a long day, we're both kind of tired, and I've got my summer shanty because we're in Wisconsin, you know, but we're going to get some rest tonight and then take off in the morning and see what activities are planned. good morning. We actually got some rest last night. We're awake, got some coffee, good to go for the time being. Anyway, it's kind of funny. We've been concerned about the heat so far this weekend and how it's going to be going into next week. But as of right now, the issue we've been facing is the overnight lows. We got up this morning and it was 39 degrees outside, so a little bit of a shock there. So we're going to welcome the heat wave to bring those up a little bit, but I'm sure the daytime highs are not going to be the greatest. So today we're headed into Wisconsin Dells. We're going to go first eat some pancakes and then go to a wildlife park, and I'm not exactly sure what else we're doing. So anyway, it should be a good time. Good morning. Yesterday was a good day. We ended up going out to the animal park deal, the deer park, and then spend some time over it with the rest of the family. So that was a good day. Today, Tammy's hanging back at the camper with Bagheera, and I'm headed out with the rest of the family down to Devil's Lake State Park, just a little bit south of here. So it's supposed to be really neat. Also supposed to be really crowded though, and it is Sunday on Memorial Day weekend, so we'll see how that ends up going. But anyhow, one way or another, it should be a good time, and we'll see how it goes. Well, hello. I'm not quite sure where we left this video off at. I do believe it was down at Devil's Lake, which was on Sunday that we were hiking down there. Yesterday we ran around this area and visited a couple wineries and just kind of hung out and had a good time yesterday. And this is now Tuesday, and right now we're sitting at our site. We did move sites yesterday, and I don't know if I completely explained the whole situation as to why we were moving sites. We're still in Mirror Lake State Park. However, the site we had over the weekend didn't have electric. And since the weather has started to heat up here, we figured it's probably a good idea to move into electric sites so that we could have air conditioning. The other thing we figured out was that our original site and this one are both very shaded, so we were getting no solar, and with that 12-volt fridge running, it was completely draining our battery bank. By the time we ended up moving over here, we were down to about 10% left on our battery bank, so we were really pushing it there. And that was with us taking the Jackery back and forth over to where my parents are staying, plugging it in, charging it up, bringing it over here, plugging the trailer into it, just to try to get a little bit more juice into our batteries. But luckily, like I said, we got that all worked out, got over to this site, plugged in, we're now charged back up, so everything's going good there. I wish we had a little bit more time to actually explore this park, because our site right now is actually pretty neat. Out behind our trailer is where the lake is. There's a drop off that goes to it, and there seems to be some neat trails around here that we've just kind of briefly explored, but really haven't had a chance to really look around. But anyhow, we're headed out tomorrow, so we aren't going to have a whole lot of time here. Tomorrow we're heading down into Illinois. We'll be heading to Starved Rock State Park, which should be a really good time, but we're going to save all that for the next video. So this one we're going to end right here. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, I'll leave a link right over here for another video that you might enjoy. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you in that next one.